A decision has been made in what to do with the Highview home filled with dangerous chemicals. A news conference scheduled for 3:15 this afternoon will make it official. The neighbors on Applegate Lane were on high alert for the last few weeks when the idea of a controlled burn was the only option. But after the Environmental Protection Agency's visit to Louisville, a lens alert was texted to residents just this morning saying otherwise. Jim Stratman's in Highview with what we know.
Yeah, good afternoon, Brooke. That lens alert went out to residents right around the area where I'm at around 8:30 this morning. And what it said was that the city would be conducting a, quote, mechanical approach for a controlled demolition of the homes that you see behind me. Obviously, these homes, the subject of an EPA investigation after dangerous chemicals were found inside. Now, this kind of begs the question, what does a mechanical approach actually look like? And that's something that we hope to get a little bit more details about later on this afternoon when the news conference happens. Now, this morning I have been driving around this neighborhood trying to speak with people, and I ended up talking with one man who was outside washing his truck. He told me that he didn't remember getting the lens alert, but he had heard about the change in plans earlier. He said that if it meant that the home wasn't going to be burned down, then he was for this kind of new plan. And we've talked about it before. The initial plan to burn down these homes did receive quite a bit of pushback from neighbors in this area when the city did originally put that out there. This is a property we're talking about that has a lot of chemicals stored inside the home. I mean, it's a situation that, again, forced the EPA to come into town to investigate what was inside that home and the best approach to try to destroy this home. Now, again, there is a news conference scheduled for right around 3:15 this afternoon where city officials will lay out the full plan of how they're going to go about destroying these homes and removing those chemicals. We will be following that, and of course we will give you updates as we learn more information a little bit later on this evening. Brooke?
All right, Jim, thanks so much. Of course, you can stay connected with us as we learn more about the demolition that's expected later on this year. And again, the background behind it, the homeowner, what he's going through in the court system. You can download the WHAS 11 app and catch our live on-air coverage beginning at 4 today. Well, the final steel beam of Churchill Downs' redesigned paddock is in place. It's a major milestone for the racetrack, which celebrated with a topping off ceremony this morning. The new paddock is more than double the size of the old one and is set to open for the 150th running of the Kentucky Derby on Saturday, May 4th of next year. This is a $200 million capital investment, giving guests better visibility of the iconic Twin Spires while streamlining their paths to the track and other amenities. A group of Carruthers Middle School students were exposed to pepper spray on a school bus this morning. Police said 2 kids were treated by EMS after a student on the bus sprayed another with pepper spray. This all happened at a bus stop. At the same time, we're told 2 adults got on board, one running down the aisle. A letter to parents from the school's principal, Jason Watts, said it was originally believed one of the adults used the pepper spray, but then video on board later confirmed it was a student. Watts saying this situation is unacceptable. We expect all members of our school community to set positive examples by demonstrating respect for and adherence to school safety rules. JCPS police will continue to investigate what happened. Indiana conservation officers are searching for a rock quarry employee after the dump truck he was operating fell into a water-filled rock quarry pit. It happened around Mulzer Crushed Stone there in rural Crawford County. The truck slipped over the edge, dropping several hundred feet into the water. A remote-operated vehicle, submersible with camera and sonar, will be used today to further assess the vehicle before putting divers in the water. In less than 48 hours, auto workers across the country and right here in Louisville could go on strike, and the impact may be felt far beyond the car companies. The Auto United Workers Union is negotiating for better wages and benefits with Stellantis, GM, and Ford. Not far from the Ford assembly plant off Fern Valley Road in Louisville is Stooges Bar and Grill, where employees are wearing pins in support of the union effort. Restaurant manager Mike Smith said he sees a steady flow of union workers there, making up about 85% of the revenue.
Whether it's before work, after work, or for lunch break. So once we get down to the nitty-gritty, it really does, start in our minds about affecting our business.
Kentucky's Governor Andy Beshear said he and his team are closely monitoring the situation and hopes the two sides can come up with a win-win situation. Meanwhile, Ford President and CEO Jim Farley spoke with ABC News on the fast-approaching deadline, saying they are putting forward their most lucrative offer.
This will be the most lucrative offer and will require a lot of belt tightening at the company. And there's a limit how far we can go because we have to keep investing for the transition of the industry.
He said he is confident a deal will be reached by the end of the week, acknowledging it's critical for workers and the economy. Construction at the Blue Oval SK plant in Hardin County is on track. That was the update given from the company to residents who attended last night's town hall meeting detailing the project's progress. The plant is expected to bring 5,000 jobs to the area. The state legislature also recently allocated $25 million for Elizabethtown Community and Tech College to build a training facility on site. But one area of concern for residents is how construction might affect their property values. Officials said they're working to provide answers to those living near the plant.
People are concerned about the roads being moved in their neighborhoods. They're concerned about things like dust and weeds and overgrown lots surrounding the fence line. But Blue Oval SK is not here to do this to this community. We're here to grow with them and to plan with them and to try to work to the best solutions for that community because it's our community too now.
Production set to begin at the Glendale plant in 2025. 2 people arrested in unrelated deadly hit and runs appeared in court this morning. 28-year-old Colin Taylor pleaded not guilty on charges of leaving the scene and failure to render aid after a crash last Friday on Dixie Highway near Bernheim Lane. His lawyers argued he called his attorneys and contacted police within 24 hours of that hit and run. The judge set his bond at $10,000. Well, according to court records, Taylor turned himself in and admitted to hitting and killing 19-year-old Derek Wright Jr. Police say Wright was hit while trying to cross the street there. A memorial now set up in his honor. And Shively police say surveillance video helped them track down this man, Joseph Martin, after a deadly hit and run at Dixie and Crumbs Lane Sunday night. Martin's being held on a $100,000 cash bond. Today, the judge ordered he pay at least 20% of that and then would be released on home incarceration. Detectives said Martin admitted to hitting Demetric Dryden Danzy and to use meth and drinking alcohol just before that crash. He's charged with vehicular homicide, leaving the scene, and driving without a license. Dryden Danzy was just 26 years old. Our Ian Hardwick spoke to his family as they reflect on his life.
I want my family and myself to move past this tragedy, to be able to smile every day without crying, because it's always been constant tears.
It's like we'll just bust out crying all of a sudden and then I'll just start laughing. Remember that time when D did X, Y, and Z, you know, or...
On Sunday night, Demetric Dryden Danzy was crossing the street at Dixie Highway in Crumbs Lane when a driver hit him. Demetric's family says, even at age 26, he brought them joy, as he always did.
Always laughing, joking, dancing. He thought he was a rapper. One thing he gonna do is ask you for $1.
Among several titles, lover, hustler, rapper, his mother calls him a fighter too. Born with Down syndrome and digestive issues, Dryden Danzy required a feeding tube and colonoscopy bag until he was a toddler. Then he had open heart surgery, but was proud of the scar.
God gave him to me, blessed me with him. I always say he was my blessing. I have 7 children, and I love all of them. But he was my blessing. He was my special baby. And again, I wouldn't have changed it for nothing in the world. I'm so hurt he's gone.
Dryden Danzy's father feels the hurt too and tells me the neighborhood shares the love for his son.
He was loved by everyone in this area. He worked several little spots, cleaning up, taking out trash.
With an arrest made, the family's thankful for Shively Police Department's efforts. It's brought them a step closer to healing, a leap ahead of where Wanda Dryden expected.
But I just thank God, in Jesus' name I thank God that they got this man.
Ian Hardwick, WHAS 11, on your side.
The family has set up a GoFundMe to help with funeral expenses. If you'd like to help, we've got you linked up at WHAS11.com. We also have an update this afternoon on the LMPD officer shot in the line of duty last week. Officer Brandon Haley is now off the ventilator. In a post on the LMPD's Facebook page, Haley's family said he's recovering and starting to act more like himself. They said they're taking his recovery day by day. Officer Haley was shot last Thursday while conducting a traffic stop in the Chickasaw neighborhood. Investigators say the shots, however, were fired from a nearby home. So far, no one's been directly charged in his shooting.